Welcome back to FM23. We're in the run into the season now. We're looking for our second consecutive invincible season in the league. We've got the Allianz Cup final coming up. We've got a strong chance of making the Taca de Portugal final. Unfortunately, we ended the last episode with that really bitter, disappointing defeat against Inter in the round of 16 for the Champions League. But still plenty to play for, 3 trophies to play for. Hopefully we'll pick them all up. So without further ado, let's get into the action. We've made it to the Allianz Cup final, and despite the way we ended last season, things have gone pretty spectacularly well since the end of the last episode. So obviously we ended the last episode with losing on aggregate to Inter Milan. We started with a 2-0 victory away at Portimonense, got into an early lead and then just held on. Against Estoril, we hammered them 6-1. They did pull a goal back to make it 2-1, but then we just stepped on the gas after that. We won the title by beating Vitória Guimarães, who were in second place. We beat them 2-1. It looked like we were heading for a draw until Maurice Goossens popped up with a late winner. We would have won the title with a draw anyway. We then went away to Chaves and won 2-1 as well. We were then at home to Arouca and won comfortably. I mean, we were 3-0 up after 8 minutes and ended up winning 6-1. And then we were at home to Famalicão and beat them 5-0. A hat-trick from Maurice Goossens. He's really kind of stepped up since we've gone to the 4-3-3 and played him in that number 9 role. And then in the most recent game, we won the second leg of the Taca de Portugal semi-final against Maritimo 2-1. Goossens scored 2 and missed the penalty as well, scoring a penalty, which sees us play Famalicão in the final at the end of the season. Just going to the league title, just to confirm, we have won the title. We're currently 25 points ahead of Vitória Guimarães, who are in second place. We're 27 points ahead of Porto in third. 29 points ahead of Braga in fourth. And 36 points ahead of Benfica, who are in fifth. I mean, you couldn't really ask for much more of a perfect season as far as the league's concerned. Obviously, we're going for back-to-back invincible seasons in the league. And if you look at it, I mean, everyone else has lost at least 7 games in the league this season, and we haven't lost any. So we just need to finish it off and make sure we finish the season unbeaten, obviously. And then we've got 2 cup finals to pick up trophies in, starting with the Allianz Cup final against Porto. This is the side we've picked for the final. Obviously, we've got to have the 221 players, so Birdie's coming up top instead of Goossens, and David Gomez is playing in one of the 2 central midfield roles. It's slightly out of position, but we don't have an awful lot of other 121 players that I would be comfortable throwing in. Right, they've got a free kick. Worked into the box. They've gone wide left. Can they get the cross in? Yep. And they've headed over. And it's Simovic with the long throw. Right. Nyanzu striding forward from the back. It's the edge of the area, has a shot, and straight into the keeper's hand. So half time, barely anything. I think we've seen one highlight from each team. No decent real chances. We need to be a lot better in the second half. Right, so we've taken the 2 under-21 players over half time and brought Goossens and Pedri on, and hopefully the experience will see us through. Klim intercepts Arda into Pedri. Pedri driving forward into the box. It somehow loops up for Rivera to head home, and that's us 1-0 up in the final. The defender cleared it off his own player. The defender got back in well against Pedri, cleared it hit his own defender. It loops up for Rivera to just nod home at the back post. Simovic with the throw deep in their half. They head clear as far as Santos. Pedri on the edge of the box, Estevez. Santos just hits it straight at the keeper. and we're still holding on a bit here in terms of this is very similar to the other season where Benfica equalised with the last kick of the game and then beat us on penalties. Oh, Goosen's nicks in. Right, Estevez down the right hand side. Surely we're not going to throw this away now. Santos pulls it across. What a volley from Dragan Simovic to secure the cup final, secure the victory. They made the challenge, and I think at one point they were going to get it and break. Estevez into Santos, who lifts the ball towards the back post. And Simovic with an acrobatic volley into the far corner. And there we have it. Technically the third trophy of the season. We've won the Super Taca, we've won the league, and now we've won the Allianz Cup. Yet another Allianz Cup. We've won quite a few of them throughout the save so far. And we'll get the trophy hoisted. And there we have it. Now, what's left for the rest of the season? Obviously, we've got 3 games in the league. Make sure we don't get beaten in them so we can go back-to-back invincible seasons. And then we've got the Taca de Portugal final coming up at the end of May against Famalicão. We're now at the final of the Taca de Portugal against Famalicão. So we have finished the league season. We did manage to finish it unbeaten for 2 seasons in a row now. The first game was an away game at Arouca, which we won 3-0. Pretty convincing. We were 3-0 up after just over half an hour. We were then at home to Paços de Ferreira. Again, a fairly convincing 3-0 victory. And then the last game of the season away at Firenze, we were 2-0 up and we were coasting. They pulled a goal back and it got a bit nervy towards the end, but we did hang on for a 2-1 victory, which means that we've ended the season with 32 wins, 2 draws, 98 points out of a possible 102. We've finished 27 points ahead of Vitória Guimarães in second. We finished 30 points ahead of Porto in third. And we finished 42 points ahead of Benfica, who finished in fifth. Just an outstanding season as far as the league's concerned. Now we've just got to go on and try and win our 4th trophy by winning the Taca de Portugal. So this is the team we're going to the final with. It's probably our strongest team, except we've gone with Emery Delibas just to give him a chance in midfield. And Walter Bravo starting at right back. Goncalo Estevez picked up a bit of a knock in training this week. Right, they've got to throw deep in their own half. They've kind of played past the press, but Santos nicks back to Klim, Arda, Delibas, Simovic into the box. What a finish. For a left back, his actual strongest foot is his right foot. So as it comes to him, Arda to Klim, finds Delibas. Simovic coming up on the overlap, just make sure it's on his right foot and just fires it across the keeper into the far corner. Puts 1-0 up. Arda with a free kick. Nyanzi at the back post, hits the post. It's scrambled home, I think, by Santos. Or was it an offside? Or was it might even be an own goal as well if it's given. So Arda's free kick to the back post. Nyanzi heads it back, hits the keeper, hits 2 of their defenders before it's forced over the line. Right. Bravo and Nyanzi with the ball at the back. Klim to Bravo. Arda goes back to Maignan. Klim to Kamara. Simovic brings it forward. Delibas looks for Goossens in the box. Takes it superbly and then smashes it past the keeper. And that's 3-0 after 14 minutes. And that has to be game over practically. Given how few goals we've conceded this season. I mean, the goalkeeper seemed to matrix out of the way of it, but free kick on the edge of the box that Arda's going to step up and take. Hits the post, Goossens with the rebound. And that turns out to be another own goal. That's 4-0 after 17 minutes. This could end up in double figures. Keeper does well to save it, parries it as far as Goossens, whose shot on the rebound was weak, but it just hit the defender and went in. Right, Delibas finds Rivera into Goosens, who nods it to Santos, who nods it over the top for Goosens again. They basically played a 1-2 with their heads, and then Goosens knocks it past the keeper, and that's 5-0 with 5 minutes left to go in the first half. Rivera dinks it forward. Goosens nods it back to Santos, who nods it over the defender. Goosens takes it on the chest and just taps it past the keeper. And there we have it, 5-0 at half time. Surely out of reach, as long as we don't do anything catastrophic in the second half. And let's just see how many goals we can rack up. Camera to Asimovic. Delibas to Klim. We're doing quite well. We're doing well at keeping the ball. Goes a long way wide to Bravo on the right. Santos to Arda. Looks for Goosens in the middle, but it was a poor ball. And then we start again with Nianzu. Driving forward. Bravo on the right hand side. Klim into Santos. What a ball. What a ball that was from Delibas. Did Goosens manage to stay onside there? It's probably a tight one. And it's been given. So Nianzu plays the ball into Kamarek to Klim. Delibas just first time into Goosens, and he completes his hat-trick. And that's 6-0. Right there, breaking away down the left-hand side here. I think it's the first one of their attacks we've seen. Headed clear as far as the edge of the box. And Mannion makes a save. And there we have it. Perfect way to end the season. Picking up our 4th trophy of the season. Obviously, we'll look at the end of season review in a second. But the only real disappointment was the Champions League campaign. I mean, when you look at what we did in the league, what we've done in the 2 domestic club competitions, we won the Super Taca. It doesn't get much better than that. In fact, we didn't lose a single game domestically. We won everything. We didn't lose a game domestically. The only losses came in the Champions League. We lost a couple in the league phase, and then obviously lost that first leg against Inter Milan, which was critical in terms of our campaign this season. And there we have it. That's the end of another season with Sporting. We've won 4 trophies, a second season unbeaten in the league. Couldn't have gone much better domestically. Obviously, the Champions League, that round of 16 game was a bit of a disaster against Inter Milan. They turned into a bit of a bogey side for us. They knocked us out in the quarterfinal last year, the round of 16 this year. We need to be much better in the Champions League next season. Join us next time to see us start season 11 as we go for our 10th successive title. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.